After many years, Courtney and I finally got to go to Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights. I've been wanting to go there forever. We had a really good time.
We actually attended HHN the second weekend it was open, way back in September, and between being sick and busy, we just haven't had time to record this until now. However, better late than never, so here we are. Halloween Horror Nights.
So all of our friends advised us to pick up fast passes, otherwise we might not be able to see everything. And while a fast pass would be awesome,
we weighed our options and ultimately decided not to get them because we wanted to save money, and we figured it's the second weekend, so how busy could it possibly be?
Now we knew it was going to be crazy, packed, busy, because HHN always is. So to help give us the advantage, we studied the wait times for the most popular mazes the weekend before. On the day of our trip, we arrived at 5 p.m. for the HHN early access to put ourselves even further ahead of the crowds.
First things first. Once we arrive at Universal, we always rush over to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter and grab some butterbeers. Especially since we had the long ride down to the lower lot ahead of us. While enjoying our beverages, we studied the map and websites to strategize what maze to do first.
Website called hhnwaittimes.com. So American Horror Story opens at 5:45, which is now. I'd almost say let's just go get in line for that.
Yeah. We only had one night to visit every attraction, so we had to form a plan.
With the truth to attack us. The attack is psychological.
Upon landing in the lower lot, we quickly took in the high-budget Horror Nights atmosphere as we made our way over to our first haunt of the night, Freddy vs. Jason. This seemed like a good one to knock out first since it had the shortest line and some of the other mazes hadn't even opened yet. The sun was still setting, it was so early. It's not super encouraging when you see actors leaving the haunt right before you're about to head in, but I do give baby Jason credit for staying in character until he was completely out of sight.
So I'm just gonna say we apologize for the lack of quality footage we captured throughout these haunts, since we didn't want to be these people all night.
We were mostly shooting from the hip and just captured what we could.
Okay, on to Freddy vs. Jason. Go.
The Freddy, giant slug Freddy, so cool. Oh! Nice, nice. Oh my God!
Now you're in line.
That's cool.
Die, you freak! Why won't you die?
Up next, we hopped in line for the American Horror Story maze, which also had a surprisingly short wait time.
Again, it was still pretty early in the night, which was the key to our trip.
The atmosphere inside AHS was amazing.
You felt like you had stepped inside the murder house, freak show, and hotel.
Just with about 100 other people.
The maze was filled with a great soundtrack and disgusting smells, but familiar-looking ghouls.
You might not be able to see them in the video since it was dark as hell in there. The iPhone 7 is good in low light, but it isn't that good.
We ended up going to AHS a second time later in the night, and the actors really stepped up their game. It was a good thing too, because waiting for round 2 took longer than all of our other maze wait times combined.
The freak performs on Halloween. If any freak performs on Halloween, that's me. Every one of
After AHS, we decided to go see Santa. I mean Krampus.
Yes. Instead, it was a much darker, more ancient. As he had for thousands of years, Krampus came to reward or to punish.
The Haunt did a great job of transporting you to a completely different winter environment. For the next 5 minutes, you're no longer in sunny LA. You're surrounded by snow-filled rooms with a significant temperature change. It got pretty cold in there in a couple points. It's not enough to make you want to grab a hat and scarf, but between the temperature change and a chilling soundtrack, and all the Krampus people that were just jumping out,
it successfully creates the illusion of winter.
Stay warm. Don't you for anything?
If you're going to HHN, make sure you check Twitter for the secret password and tell it to the frozen delivery guy for a prize.
We were not aware of this until the girls in front of us whispered Angel to the guy. We're like,
Angel?
and he responded with a Merry Christmas and gave us this sweet Krampus card.
Election year was a huge part of HHN this year. Fitting, don't you think?
Because it wasn't up and running when we first got down to the lower lot, we had to circle back up and walk through the Purge scare zone, which was really true to the movie, especially a couple of the actors. We both thought the girl with the Kiss Me mask had the exact same look and mannerisms as the character in Election Year.
Looking back on the original Purge movie, it's so cool to see what this franchise has grown into.
Come on, bro! Woo! Hey, one more time, a little bit louder for the whole park, bro! Yeah! Hey, good swing, bro. Not bad. Take any price you like, sir.
Oh, what do we want?
Shoot. Can I take them all? Maybe Bay.
What do you think?
I don't mind.
Frankenstein or
I'm thinking Sam or Frank. We gotta go Frank.
Alright, yeah, I don't want to win the girl today.
Awesome.
I'll teach you to tip, bro. Win them a prize.
Sweet.
Aww.
Here we go. Is this something you're gonna like hold on to if you're scared?
He's my favorite.
Oh. Swung that hard and there was like a recoil. So when I hit it, it was like kind of jammed my shoulder in.
At this point, the sun was finally starting to set, and it was feeling less like Halloween horror days and more like Halloween horror nights.
So, we actually have something to confess.
Up until earlier in September, neither one of us had actually seen The Exorcist.
It's a movie that we both have almost seen, but just never got around to watching it in its entirety. I think we even put it on one Halloween and then fell asleep because we were so tired that night. But with the new show on Fox and The Maze at HHN, we didn't want to be out of the loop any longer and just had to see The Exorcist, which I know is a horror staple. Now, I think you can enjoy The Maze without having seen the movie, but if you have seen it, you pick up on the more subtle details of the haunt.
All of the different bedroom scenes are incorporated in the layout of the walkthrough, and the way that makes you feel, it's like you're going in one big circle. This got us all turned around and dizzy. Like, every time Reagan and the demon emerged from the pitch black, it was really startling. Just like the movie, the soundtrack that accompanied the visuals inside the haunt were very intimidating and disturbing. Nothing is creepier than Tubular Bells.
Well, maybe the Friday the 13th breathing music, although a lot of times that just makes me laugh.
Halloween.
Jaws.
There's so many good ones.
Comment below with your favorite horror movie theme music. That one and Krampus are my two right now.
Oh, for sure.
I really liked Freddy vs. Jason. Actually, I honestly
And
did.
I like The Exorcist.
That was really like atmospherical and dizzy.
Yeah. Well, I would go through those black curtains, and the people like it was kind of, they did the same gimmick, but it kept getting me.
And I got sprayed in the eye with holy water.
Moving on, the final haunt we visited on the lower lot was the Haddonfield Maze. Now, John Carpenter's Halloween is my favorite horror movie of all time. It gets me in the mood for Halloween, and I was so pumped to live out Laurie Strode's nightmare for myself. You begin in the Myers house with Dr. Loomis shooting Michael, basically the last scene of the first movie, and then you find yourself inside the hospital of Halloween 2. And this maze is very heavily influenced by Halloween 2. It's really creepy, and there's a ton of Michaels that pop up at you.
At one point, we found ourselves inside a room filled with skeleton masks, which was a neat transition into what I assume was a Season of the Witch theme. The haunt ended by having you walk through a giant pumpkin, which was so cool, but very random.
If you're new to Ghouls, Guts, and Gore, make sure you hit subscribe, like this video, and join our weird little family if you love Halloween. Please don't forget to click the like and subscribe button. Thanks so much for watching, and stay horrible.